Hey, welcome back to Studiosetstage. Cynthia, Mallard.
I'm Marq.
Hey, guys, thank you so much for coming back for another exciting week. We just talked, all things cool, all the things that we feel like are important to us.
Yes. Thank you, Studiosetstage out there. You could have been anywhere in the world, but we're so glad that you made it back for another episode.
That's right. So, guys, what's been going on? I know this weekend, I know we actually are going to talk about just kind of our spin. We've heard everyone else or whatever. But our spin on the 2021 Golden Globes. And then, of course, Deangelo, right?
Yes, the Deangelo VERZUZ.
Hot VERZUZ.
Deangelo and Friends.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because he was the only one, it wasn't a VERZUZ, it was just Deangelo.
Yeah, but we'll get into that in just a little bit. But guys, one of the most important things, we're so happy to have a special guest on today's show, Jerome Matthews from the SAG-AFTRA talent agency, Pervis Talent. We're just so happy to have him just to drop some jewels on us, right?
Yes, indeed.
For those who are wanting to maybe follow in his footsteps, become a manager or talent manager, right? Or, just for maybe you are a talent and you're looking for just a great agency. So anyway, he's coming up later on in the show.
Yes, indeed. Understand the process behind it. I mean, it was a great interview, guys.
It was, guys. So you gotta stay tuned. And I will be honest with you. He is just full of lots of information. But anyway, I just want to say congratulations to all of those who won, fellow Studiosetsstagers who won Golden Globes this year, right?
Yes.
Our Black folk.
Yes, indeed.
In particular, too, right?
Right. It's a new month, but hey, Black history still is continuing.
That's right.
Yes,
that's
indeed.
right.
And, like to say, kudos and salute to all of the award winners. For the 2021 Golden Globes.
Yeah, and it's great because, guys, I think about all the Black people that did win, and I'm going to get to them real quickly.
Yeah.
But of course, it was the last day. 28 days of Black history that they say. But it was great because we had a record number of Black people who did win. So that's pretty cool.
Yes,
I know we were talking about this off air, and the biggest upset, I'm just going to go ahead and get to it. Andra Day, y'all, absolutely gorgeous, multi-talented. Andra Day took home Best Actor in a Motion Picture, the United States against Billie Holiday.
Billie Holiday, right?
I know, and she was up against, some heavy hitters, not to mention Viola Davis for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Well, it was like they say, it was a plethora of awesome projects that came out within this past year. And the competition was really stiff in that category.
It was stiff. And Andra Day, I can imagine just when we were watching, it just looked like, she didn't really feel like she was actually going to win. And literally when she won, like she was super hysterical. And I'm just thinking, if it was me, Cynthia, they had said I won against these super heavy hitters who have been in the business for like umpteen years, I would probably pass out too. But it's so interesting because she grabbed the paper, just in case she did win, she grabbed the paper.
Right.
She was like, let me just put my head down and read the thank yous to everyone, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. And but it was a great project. A lot of strong positive critical reviews as the project came out. It was directed by Lee Daniels.
Yes, we were talking about this, man. Lee Daniels is amazing. Of course, he has so many different projects, right? He did the famous Precious, right? Where Monique won the Oscar. And I was just thinking, I was telling you that I said, you know what? He needs to just get rid of all the distractions and just basically just stick straight to motion picture. What do you think? Which I mean,
well, I think he
probably pissed off at me. But hey,
he has a strong pedigree.
He does
in film and television. He was behind Empire,
of
course,
Star,
exactly. Of course, with
Star and Queen Latifah.
Pretty successful.
He is in that.
Is. But like you said,
I love his directing when it comes to film.
Sometimes you have people that figure out the formula. And sometimes it takes you to dibble and dabble in a little bit, but to really know your place and say, okay, within this growth, and as this thing is ever changing.
It is.
So, with Lee Daniels, it's just a testament to him and saying, well, hey, this is the right recipe.
These
are the right ingredients. So, and everybody has their their gumbo, if you will.
Yeah. Well, moving on. Chadwick Boseman, guys. Congratulations to him. We miss him very dearly. Love him. But he won, of course, Best Actor for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, of course. And both of us watched it, and it was absolutely amazing and so well deserved.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Did you see the acceptance speech by his wife? It was so hard to watch it, and I will say this. I don't know if anyone else had mentioned this, but she was dressed as a queen, as an African queen. Is the way I interpreted it. Of course, he rose to fame way before Black Panther, but that's the most significant role that he really changed the scope of how little Black boys, little Black girls see Black people in the type of role models.
You could hear through her speech, acceptance speech, how she was actually channeling his spirit. She was, in terms of that, and it was an awesome performance, and he definitely left a legacy.
He did.
That you can actually tangibly see on film, and it was just a testament to his work.
Congratulations to him. Also, Daniel Kaluuya, Best Supporting Actor, guys, for Judas and the Black Messiah. That story, Fred Hampton. I'm so happy. I remember first seeing him in Get Out. Everybody remembers that, right? And I just knew. I said, you know what, this one right here, just makes us very, very proud.
Yes. He did a phenomenal role playing Chairman Fred Hampton. And I think that the story, if you guys haven't seen it, definitely you can view it on HBO Max. It was great. Phenomenal.
Moving on down to all the Black folks, John Boyega, guys, he took home Best Supporting Role in television, for Small Acts. I'm sorry, the television series called Small Acts. Supporting role, won Best Actor for his supporting role in Small Acts. So kudos to him. And I will be honest with you, I jumped up and down this next one, Best Animated Motion Picture for Soul, guys. You can listen. I have watched this movie because I've had children too.
Right. Exactly.
And I just be honest with you. It was great. My son loves it. Our son loves it. And it was voiced, the main character, voiced by Jamie Foxx. So kudos to you, Studiosetstage out there.
Exactly, man. Salute to Jamie.
Great message. Again, absolutely.
It was
great
an awesome
message.
film. Yes, indeed. Like I said, it was a lot of great projects that came out.
It was. It was. Well, I'm going to tell you, I know that a lot of people were looking forward to Regina King winning the Best Director, right?
Right.
Of course, she was up against some very heavy competition, as she always is, but as the vet. But I'm going to tell you, Chloe Zhao won for Nomadland. But what's great about that also, first of all, she's a woman, and she's also a person of color.
Right.
So we're still happy for her. So kudos to you, Chloe Zhao, who won Best Director for Nomadland. Although, One Night in Miami was absolutely bomb.
It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal. And like you said, she's continuing her trek, her next project. I think she's working on the Shirley Chisholm project.
Is.
So,
she is.
And a lot of people are talking about, that could be strong contention for her to possibly nail the award. But, salute to Regina King.
It's so cool. And I know all you guys have been watching across social media when she kind of surprised Andra Day. And then Andra actually saw Regina King was right behind her.
Right.
And Andra Day pops up and runs around the couch and grabs her. I don't know. I didn't see the extended version of the video, but it looked like Andra Day knocked Regina down. I don't know. It just looked like it they were hugging so hard that both of the women fell down. And you guys can let me know if that's what happened. But just the video clip that I saw, just us celebrating us,
right?
For what we do and what we do as a talented people didn't just start in 2021. Right. People are actually getting to see, and we are actually, celebrating ourselves, which is absolutely great.
And that's what it's about. It's about showing solidarity.
Yes.
And as a community, that's how we support each other. And that's really important. You can't be an island in this thing. And it's about expanding the platform, creating opportunities within that to expand it and say, look, I mean, if I can do it, you can do it too. You just have to stay the course.
You got to stay the course. You got to stay consistent.
Right.
And just know that just every single day, little steps, right?
Yes.
It may be you writing that novel, 1 page a week or 1 page a month.
Yes.
But the fact is that you have a schedule, you have a plan, and that, you're going to get there.
Right.
Yeah.
Key plan.
Yeah.
Yes, if you
sometimes
fail
the
on
plan,
planning, you plan on failing.
Yeah, sometimes the plan don't work out the way you want it to.
Right. Exactly.
But something will work out.
Oh,
so
yes.
yeah, but anyway, so did anybody catch that? So anyway, again, let me just stop and say congratulations to all those Golden Globe winners. I do know that the big boycott, maybe I shouldn't call it but the protest, we want more Black winners, at the Golden Globes. We have to have more members of the Hollywood Foreign Press, which nominates,
right.
and grants the Golden Globes.
Right.
So there are no Black Hollywood Foreign Press people. So I need to just throw that in there.
Yeah.
Also, just as Studiosetstage. And so we need pressure on the Hollywood Foreign Press.
Right. That was controversial. There was no inclusion, no signs of diversity within the Hollywood Foreign Press. I think out of 87.
87 members.
All of them were of one persuasion. So we need to definitely encourage that and push that, because the more inclusion that you have, the more inclusion that it spreads out. It's a trickle.
We need some Black people behind the scenes who understand these Black projects that are coming to the forefront. That's simple. Exactly. Super simple.
Not just in front of the camera, but behind. Exactly. Well, hey, I tell you what. On this, and I was so hype about this past week, was the Deangelo VERZUZ, and Deangelo and friends. It was amazing. And this was the I guess original. This was the first where it featured just one artist. Where it featured Deangelo. But he had friends. Redman and Method Man came on and did a surprise performance. Also, he had a member, a trumpeter that was in his band. The name slips me, but it was awesome. They did an awesome performance, as well as her.
That's right. HER, that girl. HER, she did that. She did that.
It was awesome.
Well, you know what? I know people were upset about, when you heard the melody kind of kicking up, people thought, possibly that Lauryn Hill might walk out on the stage, right?
Some people was talking about that, but
people were so upset. I was too, because I'll be honest, I heard the melody and I was like, oh, did he get Lauryn Hill?
Right. But it was historic. They filmed it at at the Apollo Theater. Where a lot of people didn't know, but he talked about that's where he got his start.
Exactly.
He played there on an amateur night, won.
I think 3 weeks in a row or something like that, right? I think it was. I can't remember the right number, but And,
so it was a great celebration, and it was just a testament. And I think Method Man said it, hey, you should give people their flowers while they're still here. And Deangelo is definitely a craftsman.
He is
in it, and I'm always been a fan of his work.
I have also.
And just in terms of him carrying the mantle as far as with R&B and just real music, man. He had the whirly out there, he had the piano, so he was doing his thing.
He was
definitely. So kudos and salute, and I can't wait for the next project to come out.
Well, I can't wait. I'm gonna tell you, people think that he just had this one song, which was "How Does It Feel?" And you know what? I'm just gonna be honest with you. I mean, of course, we all remember that.
Right.
Back then,
that the video
that was kind of risque back then. Him being, completely butt naked and the camera, flashing from head all the way down, and going very slow and showing his whole, ripped body and all the muscles and the skin tone and all the baby oil and stuff like that. So yeah, we all remember.
Well,
you remember
went into detail with that.
Yes, but Deangelo is so much more than that. It honestly, the music literally made me think of us and where we come from, our culture, our vibe, the color, the candles, the love. Like his music really just encompasses love.
Right.
And you can feel it. You can hear it.
And, you know, out of his project,
feel it.
and out of his projects, and, you know, within this industry, you know, we're in a singles driven industry, and that's a whole nother ball of wax. We can get into that. But, you know, in terms of music, you know, it's quality, not quantity. But the amount of projects that he has put out, you know, they are all, you know, they stand the test of time.
They do.
You know, and they actually also shows a certain aspect of, okay, this is where, oh man, this came out. Oh, I remember Brown Sugar, or I remember, you know, How Does It Feel, or,
but they're
you know,
all love songs.
On.
But they're all love songs.
Yes,
is what I'm saying. It's like it's all
yes,
love and the togetherness, and, you know, the strong Black woman, the strong Black man, the strong Black family. And you know how we go, how there's ups and there's downs. And that's the message that I get from this project.
And it's positive. You know, but it was a great show. Great verses. Salute to Tim Belinda King and you know, Swiss Beats for putting that and putting it together.
Shout out to who ever put him in that beautiful, fabulous Black fur coat too. And that tam, what that brim?
Well, the fedora,
Ooh,
no
he
doubt.
was rocking that baby. I was like, of course he's always got the scarf, you know, under the brim. You know, that's just Deangelo style. So love that. I had to say something about the fur coat. You know, I'm a fur person. I love it. I love the fur coat.
No doubt. Salute, guys. I mean, I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to, you know, some other things. They got some other surprises coming up with VERZUZ. So you know, hey, be on the lookout.
Be on the lookout for that, guys. Listen, if you're still joining us, this is Studiosetstage. I'm Cynthia Mallard.
I'm Marq D.
And we're just kind of just laying out, you know, just some of the things that that happened this week that we were just kind of raised the eyebrow and just felt like we need to talk about. So I just want to say shout out to all of you guys this week. Well, the beginning of the month, you know, Happy Women's History Month, of course. We mentioned it last show, but we're into Women's History Month, and this month we are hoping to bring you just some great women also in their own right who are really doing the thing. Also, it was Read Across America Day. This is Read Across America Week, and celebrating that. And you know, it's so interesting. I don't know if any of you guys caught it, but I did not know this. I know some of the books that were written by Dr. Seuss in that line, in that series, have been banned because of racist content.
Oh, wow.
So so I do know that Read Across America, the whole organization across, you know, just across America, they were trying to distance themselves a little bit from just saying Read Across America is only Dr. Seuss, because there's so many different authors, there's so many other books, right? This is just about reading. It's about reading for children to learn, to, you know, to love books, to love, like we have a 6-year-old, you know, we celebrated with Read Across America, their whole class, you know, celebrated just by reading books just all day and recording it. It was absolutely great.
And you know, it's great because you know, reading is fundamental. You know,
that's the real
reading is fundamental, guys. And you know, the earlier you learn how to read, and you know, that's one of the things we were talking offset about, understanding the importance of that. And you know, within where everything through your phone and, you know, everything social media, you see a lot, but you know, reading is just good to sometimes just sit back, read an article, you know, understanding that. And you know, they've had all these stereotypical things where they said, well, you know, you want to keep knowledge away from some people, you know, you
put it in a book. It's true.
Well, you know,
I hate to say it like that, but it's true.
Cliche as it sounds, you have to understand that knowledge is power. And the way you can obtain, and one of the fastest ways you can obtain knowledge, is learning how to read, knowing how to read. You know, literacy is important even in this day and time.
Well, you got to think about back in, you know, slavery. They didn't teach slaves. They didn't teach our ancestors to read. Why? Because I mean, it expands your mind.
Power.
Knowledge,
exactly, information, you know, knowing how to absorb it and ascertain it and utilize it, because once you get the information, then from there, you know, you put it in perspective, you know how to apply it. So, you know, definitely, you know, I admire, you know, and kudos to you, you know, you participated and,
I did.
and was reading.
I love it because my mom, I tell people this all the time. My mom used to read to me so much, and then your mom, was a teacher for over 30 years.
Yes, she was.
So
yes, she was. It brought a tear to my eye, because
just kudos to those people, though. Kudos to my mom.
Yes.
To that generation.
Yes.
They understood what words meant, what sentences meant.
Oh yeah. The power of it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and they absolutely felt like it was important and that you would not get away. Because I remember the days when I used to be like, oh, I do not want to read. I'm sick of reading. I don't want to read another book. And I know you were talking about your mom.
Yes, I mean,
her.
I remember her actually teaching because she taught second grade. And so she would take a time out when I would sit in her class. She would read and she would have a reading time where, it was a silent time. You guys read, when to teach you guys certain things. And it was just amazing to see that, and all of those things, all of those memories came back when I saw you doing it. So
very emotional.
Salute to you, and salute to all those out there. And we encourage everyone out there, studio set stagers, definitely as you acting, as you're writing,
whatever you're
doing those things, at the fundamental part of it is knowing how to read. Reading is fundamental, guys.
And listen, as you're reading behind us, it says Studiosetstage. So, at this time, we're hoping that you are going to studiosetstage.com, right? Just to check us out, guys, just to support us, just to rep who you are.
Yes.
So we have lots of merchandise that allows you to do that, whether it's a hat, t-shirt, hoodie, the store is open. Yes. And we really appreciate your patronage.
Yes, thank you so much for your support, guys. But definitely Studio Set Stages, you can get your shirt, you can get, like she said, your hat, your hoodies, definitely represent, because it's a lifestyle and it's about promoting what you do.
Yes,
and Studio Set Stage is about doing that. It's about expanding the platform. So we appreciate you guys. Please log on to studiosetstage.com. Reach out, studiosetstage.com, guys. Go there now. We appreciate the love and support. And again, thank you.
That's right. Well, listen, guys, transitioning now, Jerome Matthews. As we promised, guys, talent agent, talent management from one of the top agencies in America, J. Pervis Talent. So listen, stay tuned for that. He's coming right up, okay? Right. Studio Set Stage. So guys, like I said, we always come to like the best part of the show where we are spotlighting guests, and so happy to have a special guest joining Studio Set Stage. Welcome, Jerome Matthews of J. Pervis Talent.
Hey, here. Listen, clapping for y'all too. Thank you.
The whole nine,
let's go.
Guys. I told you, only here on Studio Set Stage, we bring in celebrities, and to us, Jerome, you are a celebrity in our hearts.
Oh, I appreciate that. Love you, family. I appreciate you. I do.
Very
Thank you for having me. Seriously, thank you. Thank you for the good energy you put out. Cynthia, from the moment I met you, it's just nothing but good vibes and good energy. And, I hear it all the time, and I tell people too, optimism is an intellect's choice, right? So like it takes a special person just to always understand, there's another day. You got to keep going. A whole another day. So whatever I'm feeling now,
it is.
So I appreciate y'all, both of you, good spirits, good energy. So thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
It's a pleasure having you here.
I was just thinking, a lot of times we have guests on the show, right? Yeah. And it's just all about, introducing our audience. This is Studio Set Stage.
Right.
To those, key players in the business who are rocking and rolling just like you. Like I said, if you're just joining us, Cynthia Mallard.
And Marq.
And this is Jerome Matthews with J. Pervis Talent Agency, the hottest and the most sought out theatrical agency in the US. Absolutely, this man right here is part of the machine that makes, we like to say, Hollywood of the South turn, right?
I appreciate that. Listen, y'all got me blushing. That's so really, I'm so thankful to be with J. Pervis and especially working next to such a great team, with Joy, Jamie, Gwen, Jay Renee, Carissa. So I'm just honored to be a part of. And then like I'm like the man of J Pervis, but like I'm the only guy. So like that's a real cool thing, just to be surrounded by such positive and strong women. You know, growing up, I was raised by just a single mom. So I've seen what a woman, the influence a strong woman can have. And so I'm fortunate just to be surrounded by them. And not saying anything is wrong with the male's mentality, but women, Beyonce, she said they run the world.
We run the world, right?
I didn't say it, right? Beyonce said, I didn't say it, yeah.
It's so good that you said that, because, you know, we just started Women's History Month. So, see, there's a reason why.
That segue.
Well, where are you from, Jaron? Just for
let's see. Born in Flint, Michigan. Great. And then, you know, when I was younger, like 2 years old, I have a twin sister. And so raised by a single mom, she decided to move to Adel, Georgia. So most of my childhood, most of my life, I was raised in deep South Georgia. Okay. Then moved to Warner Robins, went to UGA, and now in Atlanta. So, but yeah, Flint, Michigan. Flint, Michigan is where I was born. Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I have some. I had some former classmates from Flint. Flint in that area. Yeah.
So how'd you get started? I mean, of course, like the golden question. Of course, we'll get into other things also. But you know, how did you? You know, just I guess very. You know, I mean, just give us the track. Give us the track.
Let me take you on this journey. So it's a really wild thing. Just how the universe, whatever you want to call it, universe, God, whatever it is. There's a path that happens that I found out if you don't really try to manipulate it, you'll get to where you need to go. So, but Lord knows I've been trying to remember that lesson. But so in college, so as soon as I got into college, I was like, I was on the debate team in high school. I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. I didn't like math at all, but I was like, cool. So what can I do in college that doesn't require math and science?
Right.
And then it was like journalism. I said, cool, I can write, I can do that. So then I thought I was going to go into the news. You know, I went to WSB and I was like, cool, this is what I want to do. Like I met Jovita Moore. I was like, this is what I want to do. But then the grind of it in college, I was a reporter for Georgia. And that grind, I remember waking up and legitimately not wanting to go there. Like just being like, oh my gosh, like I got to deal with police saying no to stories. Just so many people. You're like, I need the beat, I need the story, I need the sound bite. Like, and they're like, no. And then so I had to do this awful story where a father lost his child like not too long before they wanted me to interview him. And then I remember they were like, the story is the most important thing. I was like, ooh, this may not be the business for me. Right. So then I went into this internship program and they were like, hey, we're going to send people to LA. You're a junior, so you may not get in, but just interview and get your name in the bubble for next year. So cool, I got an interview and Lord blessed me with the gift of gab sometimes. So then they were like, yo, we kind of want you to go. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
They were like, we need you to pay $5,500 in 2 months. And I'm like, oh, shut your mouth. I am from a single, my mom like chuckled. She's like, well, it's a good thing you got accepted. So you got a whole year to save up. And I was like, oh, but I got to do it now. So then, you know, we're grinding, working a couple of jobs, getting money. And then I go off to LA and I remember that moment being surrounded by people and saying, you got to work hard. And it really stemmed from, so I lost 74 pounds like 7 years ago. And so this is what I found out. Literally work works. If you want something, it's going to be uncomfortable for a few months, but then the lessons you learn after that. So here I am in LA doing the internship program, working my tail off. I was like,
so was the internship in acting and management, talent management?
Oh yeah, got you. Yeah. So whenever I interviewed, they knew I wanted to do something with news. So they were like, you want to do CNN? And then I was like, I don't know. She was like, well, how about talent management? I was like, what does that mean? And she was like, well, here's how this internship program is set up. You have to do your research and call them and then get the internship. So there I am. I called like 30 companies that night, like just like trying to figure it out. And then someone called me back and it was Deborah Lynn at Discover Management. And she said, hey, we want to interview you. And I was like, oh, this is crazy. So boom, I get that internship. And then I did not know what talent management meant. Never heard of it. All I knew was news. And so when I went to LA, I figured out what it was, and I picked up really quickly.
What is talent management? You know, you bring it up. You know, what does it encompass? You know,
so like it's really the personal side of it. So agency, we procure contracts, and my job is to negotiate deals and contracts and what have you. But management, it was much more hands-on. We were communicating with them, making sure their materials were needed. And then we were kind of the middleman with the conversations with the agency and casting director too, as well, like giving them their input. So when I saw this, I've never been a starstruck person, like as far as what celebrities go. I'm more starstruck around the people around me that I see doing superhero things. It's like, what? Like you do this and you balance this and that. It's like, that's super cool. I respect people's grind that's made it that far. But we're so far out of touch sometimes that I'm like, listen, your story is a different story. So talent management taught me that, man, you can have a job where you can literally talk to a different personality like every day. And then whenever they get that job or you hear their happiness and you're like, I get to be a part of that. Wow. And I was like, sign me up. And so, but the thing is, I told you I started my junior year and then I had to go all the way back to college for my senior year. And my mom was like, yo, you better get that paper. You better stop playing, like talking about, Mom, you know what? I need to, and then that wasn't even a thing for me. It was like my twin and I were gonna graduate. But I was so worried because they said a year from LA is like 5 years. Like they're going to forget you. Don't even think about having a job when you get back. Yeah.
Right.
So then I went to
business. Right.
Exactly. And then so Deborah Lynn, she said, I have a friend named Joy Pervis. And I was like, who's Joy? And y'all, I laugh at that because Joy is so big in my life, and for me to be like, who's Joy, it kind of makes me chuckle. But
yeah, because like, Joy was actually, like I said, one of the celebrity talents.
You know what? Joy is
right
big
in LA and Osborne, right?
Yeah, stop playing, Jaron, not knowing who Joy is, and so like, who's Joy? And then I told the leader of the program, like the director, I was like, she wants me to interview with Joy, and she was like, oh my gosh, Joy Pervis, Dakota Fanning, Kyle Matson. And I was like, oh my gosh, what in the world, Joy Pervis? So then there I go, emailing her, boom, 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 and no response. And then I was like, ooh, that might not be good. And then just kept emailing her. And then the way I got started was I was in a class, and I remember that we were doing the news meeting, and I got a phone call. It was from Christy Holiday, who used to work at J. Pervis. And I was so persistent. That's when I tell people, don't be annoying, but let them know that like the grind does not stop. When you feel like you're supposed to be somewhere, you can't stop. I don't care how hard it gets, you just can't stop. So Christy gave me that call and was like, we want you to interview. And I looked at myself in the doggone mirror and said, I bet you won't mess this up. I bet you're gonna get this. And so there I was, a senior in college, driving back and forth to Atlanta and in classes 3 times a week because I knew that's what I want. I wanted it so badly, and I remember my news professor just telling me, you're going to be a great reporter. And I was like, yeah, you can give me a seat in this. Like, I'm going to be an agent. And then they were like, well, what do you mean? And I just knew. It was like, I'd be damn if I don't become an agent. So,
so honestly, like that sometimes,
you know what I'm saying? I knew it. You can't tell me what I'm going to do. It's like, I'm barely here right now because I can't wait until Joy, and then Joy showed me breakdowns and it was a wrap. It was like, and Joy, that I get on her soon. I know we're going to ask about, listen, you want to talk about who inspires me is that wonderful woman is Joy Pervis. Like
amen.
So, long story how I got, man, y'all got me, y'all didn't know. So,
we love it. We love it.
No, this is what it's all about. Because a lot of people, and we've always said on the show, they always see the end result in this thing. And they don't understand the process of, okay, well, how did you start? How did you initiate it? What was your motivation? What fueled all of that? So, man, dude, this is great. Because you are putting it out there and you're laying it down. You're telling them, hey guys, this is the process. This is my process getting into what I do now.
Exactly.
And you speaking on something, it's the process. Because that's another thing. I remember people thinking, so I graduated with like 4 job offers. So Joy, I mean, once you meet Joy, you want to be with Joy. But one thing that they don't understand is like starting off as an intern. That's a big thing that I don't think people understand, is like to learn the process before you want to become an agent. Yo, you got to be in it. You got to know the steps when it comes, because basic things you shouldn't be thinking about that. I want to make sure each year I'm growing. So Joy did the best job at making sure I didn't speed the process. It's like, yo, you're an intern. Get to know our talent first. So I was really good at knowing names. I was really good at just knowing the people I was working with. So she saw that in me, and then it became Joy's assistant. And then I knew then, I was like, I kind of
started going up the rank.
You know what I'm saying? I even tell Joy, like, in Joy, she's so great at welcoming that. It's like, Joy, I want to, and I'm going to try to be better than you. Yeah. And that's not a disrespect. Yeah.
I want to ask you, Jaron, because you said something, a lot of people who, like I said, that you encounter who want to be agents, right? Mm-hmm. They're always thinking about the wrong thing. So give us an idea, like what's some, people walk up to you, they know what you do, what are some of the wrong things that they say? That
you're talking about what I do?
1,000 things.
Like about what I do?
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, this is what I like to tell people. I'm an agent, and if I had to give like a log line or just some kind of one quick blurb, I push your talent. I sell your talent, the talent that you were given, the craft that you work on every single day. Hopefully, my job is to put that to casting and let them know this is what Cynthia can do. This is her toolbox. This is the tool she's created, that she's developed, and I'm going to give that to you, and let's see if that works in that project. What I'm not, and I say this in the nicest way, I do not want you to sign a contract because you think we're going to be friends. Because like, that's the thing. We can develop a friendship afterwards, but I don't want any, because this what we're building is a relationship. It's a business relationship first, because
you said business first. You better hurt.
Right. Because
Key, say I need you to say that and stress that again.
Yeah,
exactly.
Because a lot of people, especially from the creative side, it's always a gap between the creative and understanding the business and understanding how it should merge.
Well, the business gets you to the table. Is that correct?
You see what I'm saying? Like that's like, because you're building your brand. Like this is your brand, and you're putting your team together, not in an intimate way, but in the business sense, because this is how you make money. This is how we are making money. So this, then, so if there's a contract being negotiated, if there's funds being exchanged, this is now a business that we've created, and I want to be a part of that business. So I think the most successful, and it varies with everyone, but I think understanding that, so your feelings don't get in the way, because then you understand it's just a business. Like this is, and it's show business. That's another thing that they don't, it's like, this is, so whenever I hear people say, that they're not getting auditions, but the look that they're getting, so they're getting auditions for stereotypical roles, but they're not booking it. Then they get mad and they say, wait a minute. It is show business.
Oh, you getting down. He getting down, Jerome.
So if they see you that way, listen, let's book that way, and then we can reverse, we can remix however you want to be, but you got to get in the door first before you start being like, nah, man, I'm not going to do that. So that's my whole thing. I do want to stress, because now that, and mind you, when I started in this business, I was like big eye, like I was like, I'm going to do that. And don't worry, if they see you that way, then, fight the system. It's like, wait a minute, Jerome. This is the game. Like whenever I saw someone get turned down for a role because I heard that the producer, like the wife, end up wanting to like audition and kind of do it and have fun, and it's like, wait a minute, our person got turned down because like the producer's wife was like, and I want to give a shot at it, but here's a person I'm pushing that's been working her tail off for 10 years, and then she's gone through the studies, the classes, the training. And then his wife was like, I want to try this out. This would be fun. Wow. Then I knew, oh, you know what? You got to stop all the feelings. It's like, listen, that's the world. That's how the world is. And that's the cool thing about this business. It gives me a glimpse of just really how the world is. Some days you have those days where you're hearing yes. And then there's a lot of days where I tell you, I hear so much. I mean,
Jaron, you bring up a point, and like I said, me as as an actress and with one of the best talent agencies in the world, Jaron has worked on my behalf, and I just thank you so much. And like you said, it's a marathon. It is not a sprint. But in training, in my training, for those of you who are listening, I was told by my teacher at that time, and love her, shout out to Lucina Stoneburner at the company acting studio. If it comes around, like you said, and somebody's wife or husband or cousin or bum that's sleeping, gets it or whatever, it normally comes back around. And Jaron, I will tell you, I am a witness to that. It comes right back around. The opportunity comes right back around.
Exactly. Yeah. So, that's so big, Cynthia. That's so big, because like, that's another thing. Like, it sounds kind of cliche. If you didn't get it, if it's not what's meant to be yours is yours, like, but they don't even get it. That it really is that. It's like, you know what? That was not your part. Like, you gotta respect the grind and the hustle. That's why I respect actors so much. You live in a life full of unknown. You audition for something and then you push it out there and you're like, all right, well, I hope I get that call, but you can't stop. Your life can't stop. That's why I think actors are soldiers, because you put your hard work into something and then you can't think about it because you got a whole nother life that you got to continue going.
Exactly.
And to balance that, nothing but respect for you.
Well, talk to us about, and that's the technical. I know we were talking off air about this. As an agent, there's categories, right? Explain to us, because I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand.
And so, all right, so I may be a little different when it comes to categories. So I'm sure casting directors have categories, because like breakdowns, what they say, like 40s black or white or something, like heavy or something like that. So me, I'm a little different, and I think I can speak for just us at J Pervis as well too. You put yourself in a certain box based on, like, you remember, you give me the tools. So whatever your skill set is, I can't let it be where casting determines that. They don't set your narrative, right? So like, sure, you may be, sorry about that. Did I cut off?
No, you're good. You're good. You're still with us.
Yeah. So, sure, you may be in a certain category that I do want you to, I don't know, welcome for sure. But in a sense, only you know what you're capable of. And that's whenever we sign people at J Pervis, I always tell them what I'm looking for is your authentic self. So I don't know what it is that, like, because I don't know what you do in the room when you're with casting. I like never see that. So all I can trust is the person that we sign. That's who I'm pushing out there. So I can't really put you in a category. I can tell you that you're going to get Cynthia in this version of Cynthia. That's because that's what I'm hoping you're doing, is like showing them who you are with just these words on the page, not this category that they see. Because remember, I don't say this in a bad way with casting directors, because I respect their job so much, but they can't look at a ton of thumbnails and try to make that work for you. Like there's a point where once they pick, like, that's why I show business. Once they see your headshot, now it's time for them to see you, because in their head, they're just trying to group it like, all right, so this person kind of looks like the part. Now, when I click on it, that's when I say we're all snowflakes. We're all individuals. So like, don't let it be where you make the safe choice. I want to see who Cynthia Mallard is, not who this version of, I don't know, Betty or whatever the casting director wants to see. It's like, no, Cynthia, because a lot of times they don't even know what they want until you give it to them. Exactly. So it's like, it's hard for me to say you fit a category. It's really, listen, you fit this age range and they're looking for this ethnicity. And that's about, like, now it's time for you to show out. And even then it's like, unless they specify, like if the main actress is white and then their son, and they're like, listen, we're looking for white. Listen, that's just not in the storyline for me to push a black child or a Hispanic child. It's like, no, like that's the only time I'm not trying to like forget what casting says. But remember, those breakdowns, there's someone who works very hard on those breakdowns. And so at a point, you do have to respect what they say, but then they don't really know until I tell them, listen, this is what she can do, because that's the relationship. Remember the business relationship. That's the relationship we've developed that you've told me that's a part of your brand. I can also do this. So that's why I'm pushing you. I'm not pushing you like, girl, you know, Cynthia can kill this. It's like, no. I know Cynthia's been training for this because we're putting both of our necks, both of our reputations on the line. Exactly. Whenever I push you to casting, your reputation on the line and mine, because either they think I don't know that my talent is doing this, or we don't speak with each other like that. Yeah. And they may never call you again because they're like wasting time. So did I answer your question, Cynthia?
Yeah, most definitely. And you gave me then some. I know you were talking.
Yeah. And like you said, that's a testament, like you said, because we was discussing that earlier in terms of understanding the process from the creative aspect and knowing that it's the craft, but also relaying that in that relationship, like you said, establishing that rapport. So, you know, everybody in terms of the brand, you're building your brand, you're creating that. And it's you know, you're illustrating that out to everyone that's on your team, especially to the agent, because you are the liaison. So you can be like, well, I know you've been training on this, you've been working on this. So
you can advocate. You can advocate.
Criteria, but you know, again, like you said, it's up to that actor to go ahead and start to initiate that process within.
Let me ask you, Jaron, I know as an African-American agent, like super successful agent, give us an idea of some of the shows that your agency basically is booking right now. Just I'm gonna give you guys an idea of how superstar Joy, Jamie, and Jaron are.
Yeah, honestly, so I'm very fortunate to say in Atlanta, all of the top shows. So we'll always put someone on, you know, Atlanta, the Walking Dead projects. You know, there's movies too, the Christmas Chronicles too. We have one of the leads there. That's one of those questions that is so wild because I have
everything.
I legitimately have to take myself out of it because I'm like, oh man, we really book so many things. Like that's the coolest part about my job. Whenever I see like, oh man, this project doesn't come out in a year and a half and two, and I'm reading about it and I'm doing this and I'm pushing this person. Let's see, like your Chicago Meds PD is The Resident. I got to think about everything that films here now. All of the BET projects, like literally anything that shows on BET, where J Pervis is all about.
Raising Dion, I think.
Raising Dion.
Queen Sugar. Queen Sugar.
What are you saying? Look, you know it too, Queen Sugar.
Of course I would know.
So all of the CW projects, your Marvel TV shows as well too. But really, I can say all that. And honestly, it's the relationships that I talk about. Like you said something, Marquine, that liaisons, right? Like I think people forget this hierarchy of what this relationship is. It's like, you know, the actors get here. I am the middleman between the casting director and the actor, right? Because people and I try to simplify it for people too. Casting directors, the producers hit them up and say, hey, I got this money, got this project, we need cool actors. And the casting directors are like, oh shoot, there's a lot of people that want to be actors. You know what? Agencies, they can screen that for us too, where so if I have a good relationship with that agency, then I know they're going to give me a good actor instead of me just blindly searching. And there's nothing wrong with blindly searching, but like just being just a little bit more tight with the process. So with that, we're just thankful because we make sure we build the relationships with the casting directors. The casting directors are so fortunate to have those projects come to Atlanta. And we're just fortunate that we've built this long relationship with them where they trust us because that's all it is. It's like,
how long have you been in business? How long has J Pervis been in business?
Let's see, over 10 years. So I think like 13, 14 years. Ooh. Wow. And so I've been with J Pervis for 5 years. And with that, through that, I've seen this cool thing of as the projects, it's because Joy was so great at whenever there was like 1 or 2 projects coming to Atlanta, we were still working as if we had 200 something projects filming here. And so that's all it is. It's like now you see the fruits of your labor. People forget, like it's not the day you plant the seed that you're going to get the benefits. You know, you got to still keep watering that seed. You got to build it. And then boom, 5 years later, we're looking at it like, dang.
Well, but you know what? On the flip side, though, I can imagine, you know, there are some days that you're you know, have you ever been like, you know what, I'm done, you know, I can't, you know, I can't do this. This is disheartening.
Cynthia, listen, I heard from someone, they were like, listen, you don't love it if you don't want to quit sometimes. You just like, do you like, do you really, it's like the same thing with your favorite sports team. It's like, really, are you a fan unless you say, man, they're the worst, I ain't never watching them again. Yes. Like, are you really a fan? Oh, man. Yeah. And so with me, mine came with a big moment, honestly. We were talking about the middleman. So like growing up, and I've always had this idea, this feeling in myself of like, you're gonna like, I don't know if y'all saw this Tiger Woods documentary, but his father, he was like, you know, his son's gonna change the world. Yeah. You know, and he knew that from his bones. And so growing up, my mom, I knew all I wanted was to make sure she's good in life. Like I watched her work so hard, and I was like, you better not be an a-hole and not work your tail off, because she made it. I was so messed up. I thought my mom liked doing all that. Like, I'm sure she did love taking care of children. Yeah, of course, But I thought it was like, yo, you do that because like you like working 2-3 jobs and worrying about the bills. Like that's something you like doing. Like, And so what happened for me was it hit me. I was like, man, what are you doing? Like, because we would hear no's. Like when I hear the actors say, oh, I just keep hearing no. It's like, do you know how many times the agencies hear no too? And so I just felt like we kept hearing it. And even though we weren't, like, it was my ego. It was like, oh man, like then it was like, we would miss out on the role because something happened. I was like, man, like where's this control? Like where, like, what is it that I even control? Right. And I was lost because this is how I got into meditation too. And I understood now, you control 2 things, your thoughts and actions. And then that was so big for me. But before then I didn't know that. And so I kept trying to figure out like what, like, cool, we get yeses, but like, what if I'm not getting the yes I want to get? Sure, I want to get every yes, but there's certain yeses. I'm like, man, I done put in man hours, and where am I not connecting? Why is it that the producer's like, nope? And it's like, and that's it? Like, that's all. And so I had a hard time dealing with that. And I remember talking to Joy and being like, I don't know, Joy, like, I mean, and Joy, she was so sweet, like just talk to me, because when I heard that, Joy, she's like, Jaron, listen, like I've been doing this for over 20 something years, Jaron. Like there's moments where you're just like, oh, what am I doing? And that made me feel so good, right? Because like I was like, oh Lord, I thought I was already like, I'm just 4 years in or 3 years in, and I'm already feeling like this. She was like, because like I started off, you know, I was working. And I didn't tell y'all this, but I was working at a management company in Atlanta, and I was doing Pervis at the same time. And so all I knew was just like breakdowns, emails, this and this, and it was just all the time. And all I knew was notifications and people. I was so accessible, and I started to lose who I was and what I've created in myself, because I was taking on so many people's their frustrations with the business there, and it was getting to me, because I was like, I know, like, yeah, we got to keep moving. And then they wouldn't understand it. So then
how did you remedy that? So how did you remedy that quickly?
Meditation. Honestly, meditation, it made me become so at peace with the current situation. And then talking to the actors that way too, because I think we just get so lost in show business that we forget to have fun. And this is like, you really have one of the coolest jobs. I think about that too. It's like, sure, on paper, it's like, yeah, you're an agent, you're in sales, but it's like, no. Like, I really get to see people recreate, redefine who they believe they are. And I have a part in that. And that's such a beautiful thing for me to feel and experience every day. I still haven't had the same day in 5 years that I've been in Pervis. Like I've never been, so that news job, it was so mundane, so tedious. I was like, oh my gosh, every day, it's going to be sad. No one wants to hear the good stuff. Like you would pitch it in the meeting, and then like,
you know what? I'll be honest with you. You know, we've worked in news, of course. You already know. Yeah. And so we kind of can relate. We know exactly, you know, which is why you know, we changed gears, you know, long time ago. But it in certain aspects of news, it's kind of the same thing. Like there's never a dull moment. Like
exactly. Yeah.
It's something different. So, so what's like, we were talking, you know, on air, we were talking off air about this. What's a day for Jaron or Joy or Jamie, for those who don't know? You wake up in the morning and just give us just I don't know, a sample.
So I guess day. my day, because I couldn't tell you Joy and Jamie's. They I know the one thing that's similar with this is we're in front of our computers and phones all the time. But yeah, like all the time. So my day, so I get up at 4:15 and I coach CrossFit as well, and I work out at I'm coaching at 5 in the morning, coaching at 6, and then work out at 7.
Yeah, we got to talk about that too. Yeah. Like, guys, if you don't know, again, this is Cynthia Mallard and Marq D, and we are talking with our illustrious guest today, Jerome Matthews of Pervis Talent Agency. He is a manager, an amazing manager, I might say. But he's also this amazing fitness aficionado, guys. Like literally, the guy that you're looking at right now, guys, has went through a serious transformation. I mean, absolutely.
Listen, y'all, when you talk about fitness, that is my therapy. It is. Like I said, it's the first thing that I realized that, man, life may get a little uncomfortable, but if you stick to the process, really, if you just stay true to it, stay focused. Those 3 months I lost to 74 pounds, it set me up for the rest of my life. Like it was, in all seriousness, like it was so big for me because I was just lost. Like I think that's just the natural curve for just human beings. Like there's moments where you feel like, oh, man, I'm killing it. I know exactly what I'm doing. And then moments you're like, I don't know, when did this happen? And that moment hit me. And when I lost the weight, I looked back and I was like, that's it. Like you figured it out, man. Like you just got to work hard. And then I got mad. I was like, it took you this long to realize you just got to work hard to do this, man. Doggone.
Jaron, I can relate to that because, man, I lost about 65 pounds and I realized, and it was funny because when I lost the weight, I had a CD out, and so but prior to that, when I took my pictures, I was overweight, and so I was, networking, and so I met somebody in the industry. They were like, "Yes, oh, this is your CD. Oh, so this is your brother." I was like, "Wow, yeah." But it's just one of those things. But like you said, Jaron, I mean, it's a testament to that because you need to have that thing that actually keeps you grounded, because in this thing, you be bouncing up against the wall like that, but it brings, a solid, aura around you to know that it's real, so man, I salute you.
You know what? I just want to say to your stagers, you see Jaron just took off his jacket, right? So we're talking about fitness and he just literally disrobed. So you can see he's so chiseled and gorgeous.
All right. There you go. I had to do it, man.
Studiosetstage. But yeah, like you were saying, you coach at 4.
Yeah, so I coach, and then but it's always just just checking my emails. Like honestly, I mean, we get so many emails, so many phone calls, text messages, and then you got to be in front because. So another thing is just the immediacy of submitting on the breakdowns too, and then pitching the clients. Just you want to make sure you let casting know I see the work that you're doing. Like I know that when you release that breakdown, that is work that you've done and you've created, and I respect you to let you know that I'm going to submit in a timely manner. So it really is like I tried so hard to not make this difficult with what we do. It's so like, okay, not simple. Like so that's also another thing. Multitasking is like our thing too. Like which I know like people who are busy in life, they get that too. But really, we work on relationships. Like, I wanted to let the casting director know, I respect you, I respect your hustle. So here's the talent. And then I want to let the actors know, I respect you and understand that you are giving your life to this. So I'm going to work my tail off and make sure that I am pushing, I'm submitting you, I'm pitching you, I'm doing this.
So Jaron, for those of, of course, it's the kind of the golden question. It's like, how do I become family with J. Pervis? How do I become a part of the fam? I know you probably get that question a million times.
Oh yeah,
all the time. Let's see. So how you become a J. Pervis? So referral. That's like a big thing. And showcases. I think those are like the two main ways. And it's an industry referral. It's like, no disrespect to anyone who mails in their resume and wants to just email us. But it's the same kind of process that casting has whenever they reach out to the agencies for actors. It's like, you do have to screen and know what you're, and it's like I said, no disrespect to any of the actors' hustle, but it's easier for us whenever someone in the industry who knows like the hustle and bustle and all that, like being inundated with all these emails, they understand that. So they're like, yo, take 5 minutes. I get that because I do all these emails too. I do these phone calls, but can you give me 5 minutes so you can look at this person that I'm going to kind of just not interrupt, but kind of just pause the track that you're on today. Let me bring this person to your attention. That's when we have to look, because it's like, yo, you get it. So let me go ahead and take a break and let me check out this person. So really it's industry referral, and then showcases, because that's like a huge just industry referral, because they put on the doggone show.
It's kind of the lay of the land. The lay of the land.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and I love showcases. That's one of my favorite ways to meet new talent, just because.
So somebody is not rejected or turned down, say January, and so how much time do they need to, six what?
6 months.
6 days?
6 months.
6 days?
Yeah, 6 hours? Okay, 6 hours. Got it.
I know, I'm just playing with you. 6 days? I'll be honest with you, and I'm just going to be very honest, just very candid. When you are not represented, literally you really do want to resubmit in 6 days.
I get that too. We had someone, I said, check back in 6 months on the doggone hour. She checked back in 6 months. Like it was like I told her that at 3:18, she responded at 3:20. 6 months later at 3:20.
Right.
She was like, yo, you said 6 months. I said, damn, okay, I gotta respect the hustle. So now at least gotta let me take another look. That's kind of cool,
Right.
Yeah, look, I'm trying to, she said a reminder and she stopped what she was doing and pressed send, so I respect people's grind like that too.
Is it, now let me ask you a question, I know this is a big thing, especially, with us being in Southeast, is there priority over, say, talent that's New York or that's LA versus Southeast? I know you get that
priority with, so let me go ahead and let you know, people, casting directors in LA, they want to hire people in LA because that's their people. They built the relationships with that. New York casting directors want to hire New York casting directors because cool, that's the people. Southeast casting directors want to hire Southeast cast or actors because that's their people. So priority wise, sure, and especially with what's going on right now with COVID, they really are trying to make sure they're keeping this dialed in and not having too many people traveling. So I tell people right now, shout out if you being in Atlanta or being within 500 miles too, because this is your opportunity. They are just looking for you because real talk, it's that it's cheaper for them to get, if you have housing here, producers don't have to pay for housing now, you're here. So then that's super attractive to them. And so I always tell people whenever they start getting momentum in Atlanta, then they're like, yo, I need to go to LA. And it's like, wait a minute. You got traction here, you building relationships here, and now you want to go somewhere where they don't really know you because you hear about this magical La La Land place, and shout out to LA, they're cool, whatever. So, but Southeast, they're showing you love. It's I think it's still, like I said, with life, when you got people who show you love on your hustle, those are people you want in your circle because you're an average of your circle. Either they're going to subtract from your value or add to your value. So it's
wow, you better drop those gems.
Exactly. So why would I go to LA when they don't even know the hustle, the grind I've been on? If I'm getting love here in Southeast, it's we got an actor, he's been grinding for 10 years. And I'm telling you right now, he is now just made, it's send him a script. Like, let him read it first before he does something. It's because he understood his hustle here. And it's like, and that's what I don't get it. Cause like me and like, I wasn't attracted to LA, one, because when you meet Joy, but then it's like, nah, man, like Atlanta really is showing some promising kind of traction, some movement. So don't take yourself from that equation, especially. And then my mom is here. That was another thing. It's like, it's just too many good things here. And it's the same thing with acting too. It's like, y'all, it's cheaper to film here. They can make it look like anything. And you got so many productions here. Why would you say, let me try another market? Now, if you say another agency, that's one thing that if that's one thing I want to tell actors. If your agent is straight up with you and say, hey, I don't think this is a right fit. Do not get mad. Do not get sad. That's shout out to them for being the bigger person and saying that it's like a relationship. You just broke up in a business relationship. It's like, hey, and that's why you don't put the feelings to it, because then you won't be like, no. It's like, no. Because your business, it's because I've seen it where they leave and then they go to a smaller agency and boom, they just start like, because it really could be just something where, I don't know, an agency, when you click with them a little differently, not in a way that we're not great for you. It's just you may vibe with someone just a little different. You have something in common. So when your agent is big enough to be like, yo, I don't know if I want to go ahead and keep this relationship on a good level. Let's go ahead and part ways with this. Fist bump them. Thank you for not wasting my time. Because understand, if they don't believe in you and they don't tell you, now you're just sitting there thinking that they're pushing you. And this whole time, they're not doing anything. So if they let you know that, then you're like, thank you for not wasting my time, and I'm gonna keep it moving. You want someone that believes in you.
Right, and that's important, because like you said, in the process, and like you mentioned, Jaron, which is very key, especially to those people that's just starting out and really getting acclimated to the process, but they want to go to that track and they try, like I said, you just see the end result, but hey, you got to get to 1 before you can get to 2. And you got to get to 2 before you can get to 3. And understanding, and that is the process in terms of understanding is relationships, but it's also about making sure that, your time, you're not wasting it, you're not squandering it. And like you said, kudos, man, that, on that side of it, you see that and say, well, hey, look, I know you want to do this, but we have another direction and you might have another direction you want to go. And it's just cool to, hey, let's part, but, still not discourage or put anybody down. But it's like you said, it's understanding the business aspect of it.
Understanding the business. Like, it's don't get your feelings hurt because I dig anyone who's been with Jay Pervis. If they're like, we have to go, it's like, it's okay. Like, it is okay. It's not even a selfish thing. It's like, I get it. I want your brand to be successful. So if we didn't work out with that, then why would I wish poorly upon you? That's crazy. As human beings, we need to be cool with each other, harmonious within mankind, period.
Harmonious. I know, guys, you just joined us. Again, I'm Cynthia Mallard.
And I'm Marq Dean.
And this is Studiosetstage. And you are in the middle of our guest spotlight, Jerome Matthews with Jay Pervis Talent, just dropping jewels and gems, guys. Sometimes, this is great for people who are just starting in the industry, but also it's great just to remind a lot of the vets, because you can be in the business and you forget a lot of things. And sometimes you just need to be reminded. I know a big thing is headshots. I know we didn't cover that. I know it's just like, there's so much, right? We could talk all day, but tell us how important your headshots are and what you look for.
It's how you get in the door. Like, you can't get in with just a black thumbnail, so they are important. And so when people are kind of lax about it, it's like, wait, remember, this is show business. Show meaning show your face, show them. So I can't expect casting to click on you if every headshot looks the same. It's like, remember that we can't put you in the category, but they do have a general just idea of like, this is kind of what I want to see. They look that part. Let me see. Now let me go deeper. So you gotta get the door open so you can show them who you are. So
that picture means a lot.
Right.
That picture means so much. And don't half-ass your headshots. I do not understand. It's like, let them, because that is your way to be creative. That is your way to show them, hey, yo, this is who I am and this is what you're going to see. But whenever they're like, I just can't do it on your doggone iPhone. Like, as long as it's quality, do it on your phone. Like, just make sure you give us the looks, give us the tools. Because that's how they even open up your toolbox. And your headshot is your toolbox. Then they open it up, and now you got to show them your tools. But they don't even know. Some people don't want a raggedy looking toolbox. I want to look, okay, this is kind of the toolbox that make it the job done. Now let me open it and see what tools they got. But it's that kind of business. Remember that. It's like, I don't care. You can be all high and mighty. No, they're not going to judge me with that shoe. And I'm sorry, they are going to look at you and figure out, this is kind of what I might want to see. Let them judge you, and then show them that you're layered than what they even believed that you were.
Exactly.
Give them the look. Give the people what they want, and then show the people what they didn't even know they wanted.
Right. So, and that's key. You said something, man, that's a jewel, that, perception, perception of it, in the appearance of it, and just because sometimes you only get that one chance to make that lasting impression.
That's it. Sometimes it is just one time.
So with that, with that, like you said, with the headshot, that is the first glimpse and introduction to who you are.
Listen, you put your best foot forward, someone will see it. If you put your worst foot forward, everyone sees it. And all I'm saying is, like, yo, listen, just do your best, forget the rest, and someone eventually will see it, and then you won't be mad about it.
Right.
Be Quick, Jaron, favorite actress?
Ooh, that's so big. That's so big. All right, so this won't be the answer that y'all are expecting, but it's probably my mom. So she's not on TV or anything, but she plays the role that she does so well that
awesome.
It's inspiring. So
oh my God, I love you. I love you as a mother. I'm over here like, yes.
Yeah, no, it's got to be my mom. She's my favorite. Yeah. And then
favorite
actor. Oof. That one. So I guess that's so crazy that you do that, because I guess single mom, I don't like male figures in my life. I do have some male figures, but I was just talking to someone yesterday. I can't remember, but Will Smith. But that's only like, not growing up watching Fresh Prince and not really having that male figure in my life, but seeing a black man on TV and not making a fool, like being just happy, just doing what he needs to do to get the job done, and then diving deeper into a story. It made me feel so good just to be like, you know what, I'm good with what he's doing, and I'm going to follow that journey just because it's been such a positive influence for me. Right. So he's my favorite actor. I mean, he does great in his movies, his roles too, but just, I don't know, his movement in life, I've been pretty impressed by.
And the number one thing that you would tell artists, like I said, you represent men, women, models, the whole nine. The number one thing you would tell people, like I said, I wish we could keep you like for 3 or 4 hours, of course. You have to come back to the show. But what would you tell, number one thing that, if they don't do anything else, listeners, watchers right now, what should they be working on right now?
I think it's so being present, and you can do that in a multitude of ways. But I think the biggest one for me is taking a breath and meditating. Like meditation is so big for me just because it does remind me you got to slow down. And because that's the optimal version of yourself. Like whenever you're frantic and you're thinking like, oh man, I gotta do this, I gotta make this move, you miss something. There's something you miss. But when you slow down and you just take it each step, I promise you that you're so optimized, you're so primed for performance that there's nothing that surprises you when it happens because you've slowed it down. And I've learned that with like visual training as well too. It's like, slow it down, like stop like freaking out, like, oh, I don't see the color. It's like, slow down. It's the same thing with literally I do in anything in life. I've realized if you slow down, you will succeed, and enjoy the process, because you can't forget this process. I don't go back. I think it's bad to live in regret, but it's also great to recap though. Like to think about where my journey has been, because it makes you appreciate this moment. It's like, you know what? it's not that bad, man. Like I remember making $200 a week, working 18 hours a day. I remember those, and I look back and I'm like, yo, you enjoyed that moment then, and now look at you. You're not doing that now. Right. Now you're One thing I've learned is do not let money be the attachment to my happiness, because money comes or go, but this right here, it stays. This is just a vessel for my mind.
Yes. Amen. Yes. Amen.
So, you know what I'm saying? So when I stay present, stay in this, even if money isn't flowing in, I'm happy. If money's flowing in, I'm happy, because I was already happy before. If money is I'm still happy. It's cool. That's just paper to me. So I've learned to slow down, enjoy the process, and stay present.
Awesome, Jaron, man. And that's what it's about, man. Like you said, the mindset, the right spirit, man, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Now look, how? And we want you to let everyone know, for those out there that might want to get in contact with you, to reach out to you, what is the best way to connect with you?
That's how you look like. Really?
I tell you this, I am not the best at texting. Like text messages, not so great. Email, like it's wild. Like I never thought I would be in the point in my life where it's like it is better to email.
Give us an email that you wouldn't mind, especially those people who have more questions, who may really want to connect with you.
You can email my work email. Like literally everyone should have my work email. Jaron at the letter J, Pervis, Pervis, talent.com. And then I don't tell people to follow my Instagram, because I'm not that like impressive. Like it's like everyone. If you follow me on Instagram, just look up JARONM, and then that was the first time I've ever actually put up my handle like that. So shout out to Studiosetstage. Like,
love.
I've never done that before, so that's awesome. Thank you.
Love. Thank you so very much, man. Guys. Once again, Jerome Matthews with J Pervis Talent Agency, and of course the website, right? Give us
yeah. You can go to jpervistalent.com, and then you just check us out. Like seriously, there's so many great agencies here, but I do know that you have to know I'm the happiest. Like I'm so happy my name starts with the letter J.
Right.
Ron, Jamie, like all like Jay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So so it's all nothing but love. And check us out. And if we say no, listen, check back in 6 months. And hit me at the exact time, and then you never know what happens.
And very cool. And on the flip side, there could be a future, agent, who who's eager to go on the journey that you have gone on.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you so very much, Jaron. And next time.
Let's do it. All right. Have a good one.
Have a good one. Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you so very much, Jerome Matthews with J Pervis Talent. See, that's how we do it on Studiosetstage, guys. We set you up. It's wonderful to talk about like all of the events and things that are happening. Of course, we have expertise in that, but it's more about, getting you from studio to the stage, saying a small place to that main stage that you've always dreamed about.
Right. And understanding the process, and understanding all of the different elements that's involved in that, because it takes, like Jaron was talking about, it takes a team, understanding the process, and that's so very important.
And go into it for the right reasons.
Oh, yes.
Go into it for the right reasons, with the right people.
Right.
Again, you're watching us. We're there, YouTube, at Studiosetstage with Cynthia, Mallard, and Marq.
Yes.
And then, of course, you can listen to us. If you can't watch us, you can listen to us on your devices.
You can listen to us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, also YouTube, like she said, as well as radio.com, the radio.com app.
So take us everywhere with you guys. Drop us a comment. Be sure to subscribe, and please share. We love you so very much, and talk with you next week. I'm Cynthia Mallard.
I'm Marq.
And this is Studiosetstage.